Hi guys, it's Nadia from LiaDiaDesigns and back with another video. Today we are making rose petal flower coasters. So I found these rose petals on Amazon. I will put a link in the description below the video. And basically I just want to see, I had this idea where I wanted to see how it would look to actually have a flower in the center of a coaster with rose petals kind of around it. And I'm going to try to match the colors of the flower to complement the rose petals. So you'll see the list in the top corner there for the quantities of the resin that I mixed up and then divided. And what I did is I put some of the rose petals in a little bit of resin in this cup to just kind of put a coating around the petals. So this way, hopefully it's going to minimize the amount of bubbles that are going to show. So as you saw, the first thing I did is I poured resin into the coaster molds, just a thin layer, and I got the bubbles out with the heat gun. And now I'm going to go in and add the petals around the edges. So I'm going to do this for both coasters. And once I finish doing that, then I will go ahead again with the heat gun and see if I can remove any bubbles. And then after that, what I'll do is I'm going to add the center of the flower, which is a little bit of rose gold foil. And again, all the products that I'm using and the colors and things will be listed in the description below the video. So make sure you guys check that out. So I'm just gonna let you guys watch me quickly get all these flower petals in, and then we'll go to the next step. So we're almost done here, just heating up the resin a bit to get rid of some of those bubbles, and then we're going to add in the rose gold foil. So once we get those placed in, we'll again check for bubbles, and then I will let this sit for about 25 minutes. And again, you'll need to just determine the time that you need to wait based on your resin specifically. I have a video called Timing Your Resin, which will allow you to, determine that time. And then in the meantime, while I'm waiting, I'm going to be adding in the pigment pastes to those two small cups you see on the top there, and those will sit as well. Okay, so it's been about 25 minutes and I have put the resin that I added the pigment to these little piping bags, and I'm going to go ahead and put the flower design in now. So I'll start with the white, and as you've seen in some of my previous flower videos, I really like this kind of spiral pattern. I'm going to add a bit of a wave to it this time, so we're going to do that as neatly as possible, but obviously you still want it to look a little bit organic, so not perfect. And then after we do the white, then I will use the dark magenta to go around in between the white lines, and then we'll take our paintbrush and we will add details. Okay, so now we're ready to take our paintbrush and add some details. So you're going to see I'm just going to add some lines. This is similar to what we've done in some of my other videos, where we're just going to add lines that kind of give that flower petal type of look. So we'll drag it all the way to the center for these lines, and then the next set I'm going to add is we're just going to go about halfway. We're not going to go all the way to the center. And then once we've done that, I'm actually on these ones, I tried to add a little bit of a swirl to the center just to see if that's going to change the look at all. And same thing on the second one. So once we do this with both coasters, you'll see I'm gonna take my torch and just kind of only run it in the center area to see if I can get rid of any bubbles. I'm not gonna get the torch anywhere near the actual coaster mold itself, just because we know that the torch can actually melt the silicone, and that will cause it to fuse to your resin, and then it'll be next to impossible to get your coaster out of the mold. And also we'll be damaging the silicone, and a lot of times they'll rip, and that'll be end of that. So we want to be really careful with our torch just to make sure we're not actually damaging the silicone at all. So really I only use this if I'm just kind of get bubbles out of the center, and I don't really want to use the heat gun because the heat gun is going to move the resin a lot more. So once this is all done, we'll let it sit overnight and unmold it in the morning. Okay guys, so it's the next morning and we are going to go ahead and unmold these and see how they look. So for the first one, great, so it looks great. So the colors turned out pretty nice. I was trying to match the rose petals, not the darkest part of the petals, but the kind of the center area. So I think these turned out really pretty. And I really like how the rose petals look around the edges. There is a little bit of iridescent glitter in there, and you can see as well that I had added to the clear resin, so it gives a little bit of that extra sparkle. And then we'll unmold the second one, which should be very similar. We didn't do anything too different for these ones this time. Just get the little pieces off the edges and take a look at this one. And so yep, this one is pretty similar. And again, I really like how the colors of the flower complements the rose petals on the edges. I also wanted to show you these little other pieces that I made. I have two little bowls here that you can see that they were actually my first attempt at making this design, and it turned out that I mistimed my resin. So you'll see that the pigment just dropped to the bottom and just didn't work out. So but luckily I was able to take them out of the molds before they were fully cured and make them into these little bowls. If you're interested in learning how to do that, you can check out my video, 2-tier mandala candy dish, and I kind of walk you through the process on how to do that. So you can see that I just stuck them inside this cup, and it actually made these super cute little dishes. So yeah, so you definitely don't feel like if you have pieces that are not working out perfectly, that maybe you can still find a way to use them. And I also have these little petri dishes that I just poured the extra resin in as well. So yeah, lots of ways to kind of utilize that extra resin or pieces that you think that didn't really work out perfectly. I actually ended up really liking those candy dishes a lot more than I thought I would. So sometimes things just unexpectedly happen. So anyways guys, I hope you guys like this tutorial, and that let me know what you think of the coasters and even the little bowls. Tell me what you like and what you think and what else you'd like to see. Thanks guys, don't forget to subscribe. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.